going to talk a little bit now to Kathie Cummins, who is the backstage mother. That's what we call backstage help in Fort Worth. We call it we call her the backstage mother, and she is just wonderful. You will love meeting Kathie Cummins. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome backstage, Mom.
Thanks.
What do you do? What do you do for all these people?
Do?
Yes, I know what you do, but they might not know what you do for everybody. How does it start? How does your job start at something like this?
When we meet the competitors, the day they look at the piano and look at the bench and do all that stuff.
Which is a little different in this competition.
Yes.
They're just getting acquainted with one piano, right? For 10 minutes or so? Or
oh no.
It's exactly how many minutes? Exactly 7 minutes.
From the minute you meet them, hi, I'm starting the buzzer. And
Oh,
you have 7 minutes.
You set a stopwatch or something?
Because we had 68,
Right.
71
68.
final people that in one day had to come through, decide,
Try out the piano.
look at the piano, play a few notes, and then you're off. Next one. So
now that differs a little bit from the professional competition in that when you meet them for the first time, they're actually selecting a piano in the professional. Now, in the last one, do you remember how many pianos there were to choose from? It's usually 4 or 5,
we had, I think, 4.
And how many minutes did they get? Do you remember then?
Back then, 10, 12, 15. But we waited until they sat at the piano.
Okay.
And then
so there was a
started
policy
the timer.
for that. Okay.
So it's kind of been changed with each competition, which is okay. It's different, but I mean, getting that many people through in one day.
So how long did that take yesterday or the day before yesterday?
Sunday was from 9 o'clock in the morning until 6:30 or something. I think we had
7 minutes.
20, or no, we had 30 minutes for lunch and 45.
So how do you let them know it's time to stop? Do you come in there with your stopwatch?
I have this obnoxious sound on my cell phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And did that work?
Yeah.
And it works?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. They can hear it. But we had the bench problem.
Okay, what was the bench problem?
Okay, the bench problem is when they sat down and, you have to this way and that way.
Cranking.
So everybody was, and as luck would have it, you've got a tall one and the next one was short, or way up and then way down. So they were really cranking out the hands, and so
these are very subtle differences too. You can't just have a simple solution like we'll have a tall bench and a short bench. That doesn't exactly work.
No, because we had so many people. So we had to figure out what to do. So we got a hydraulic
Very
bench.
fancy hydraulic bench.
Yes. Yes.
That was nice of you. Thank you.
I loved doing it. It was fun.
Now, okay, so take us to the first day of the competition. What are you doing? What is Maria doing? What's the division of labor?
Okay.
You have a helper.
This year, Maria would come to the warm-up room and get the competitor and then bring him or her down backstage, hand them off to me, explain to them that she would meet them on the other side of the stage with their packet or their bag. And so then we would get them on stage, and some of them are very, very nervous, and some of them are joking and fun and all that. So you kind of have to read what they want.
Okay, and how do you do that? Because you have we'll get to this in a minute, but you sort of have a history of performing yourself. You're not a stranger to being on the stage yourself. So how do you gauge how nervous a competitor is, and how do you handle that? Just intuition?
Well, intuition.
Obviously it works because you're back every year, so obviously you're very, very good at that backstage moment.
I've been very lucky. Every once in a while I don't read it the right way, but for the most part you can kind of sense, do they want to be left alone or do they want to chit-chat? And each year it's been different because we've been at TCU, we've been at Bass Hall, we've been here. This is really a good situation.
So this has worked well?
Very well, I think. I like the hall. I think the competitors have enjoyed it. It's very alive, and to knowledge, I've not heard anything bad about it. The steps up are a little different. So, we've just dealt
There's always
with it.
a little bit
There's
of a
always
challenge.
something.
Now
There's always
tell me this. Backstage, is it the same feeling at the professional competition backstage as it is at this?
No.
There is so much at stake at the
yes.
professional competition, and there is a heaviness
Right.
backstage and a silence backstage and a seriousness
Very
backstage. Does that obtain here? Is it the same sort of feeling backstage, or is it more collegial?
A lot
or-
less. A
Okay.
lot less, and more of these people are professionals at whatever they do, and this year it's amazing what they do. And so they're, for the most part, nervous, but
It's a different kind of nervous, though,
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it? It's a nervous as in, I want to give my best, not so
Yes.
much a nervous as
prove
in,
it to
my
myself.
career depends on
That's
this,
right.
or
That's right.
something like this.
So it's been very interesting, but Maria even remarked, it's so funny to see these people that are in charge of your brain, and they're backstage and they're going.
Right,
So,
right. Performing is just an utterly
It's different.
thing, right? Tell us about your performing. You were in the Fort Worth Opera Chorus.
I was
right?
in the opera chorus, and I never did the piano thing, but
But you know what it's like to
yes,
be on stage.
because
You know
I-
that feeling.
oh yeah, but choruses, lots of choruses, and I'm not a soloist, and I'm not, church choir,
But there's a particular feeling about being on stage that you can't explain to anybody. You
Oh, yeah.
have to know what it
There's
is.
something neat
there was
about it.
There is something
Yes.
really exciting about it,
Yes.
but there is also a responsibility involved in being on the stage. You want to give your best, and
if you're one of 150 in the mob chorus, it's still cool.
it's
I
still
love
pretty fun,
doing it.
right?
Yeah.
How long have you been a volunteer with Cliburn?
This go round since, what did we say, 2000? When was the amateur? 99 or 2000?
The first amateur was in '99.
No, I didn't do that. Okay, well then, I looked it up today, and I can't remember.
But about 15 or 16 years
yeah,
you've been with us.
I helped Louise. Louise Canifax.
That's Louise Canifax, who was the backstage mother for a long
The
time.
backstage mother was my elementary school teacher.
Oh, she was your elementary music teacher?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, in the 50s, way back. And so we had been friends forever, and so I started helping her in whichever year that amateur was. And then I do know we did the 2001, the year Olga and Stanislav
Right.
tied. So that was my first big one, and we did an amateur one before that. And so whichever year it was. So, and then I was her helper forever, which was fine. I'm very good Indian. I like somebody telling me what to do, and I can
Right.
carry it out.
What all kinds of things do you have backstage for competitors? I mean,
Oh
I've
my
never,
gosh.
I've never seen your
The
vast
box.
array of things. I remember what Louise had from
Had.
being backstage, but what do you bring?
For this competition, we don't have that much yet, anyway, and there's no room back there. So we just adjusted, and we've got a big container under the table with all this emergency stuff.
Like what?
Okay, like Band-Aids, like Kleenex, nail file, brush. The most used item is the roller.
Oh, the lint.
Yeah,
The lint
Maria
brush.
gets the lint off of everybody.
Whether they
So-
want it or
yeah,
not, or
right,
okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of our way back there. We just kind of direct people, and then let them know if they get nervous or apprehensive or shy. I have a very swift kick, and I just
Oh,
you're out.
sure you do. Sure you.
You know.
We-
So we haven't had to kick
I believe we
anybody
believe
yet.
everything you say.
Oh, yeah?
You know, we do. Well, I, for 30 years, have believed everything you have said.
I know that's not true.
Okay, so now what about for the professional competition? I know you bring a lot of stuff.
We
to
do,
the professional
and the
competition.
hand warmer is another thing.
What is? Tell me about.
We
the
have a hand
warmer.
warmer, which is a heating pad, and and it's sitting right next to where the competitors can sit or stand, put their hands in, and oh my gosh, as hot as we are, they love it. I
Really?
mean, they'll come backstage. One person today had, they actually toe warmers because she didn't have any hand warmers, and I went, oh my gosh, I ski with those. So anyway, she needed them. But we have the heating pad is used most of them will take a drink of water. We have chocolate, and there's some there if we don't eat it all, and mints and things like that.
Has anybody ever had chocolate before going out to play?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah?
Every once in a while.
That's pretty bulletproof. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah. No, me either.
I would have some after. It would be my reward.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That and some other things.
Right. Hand lotion, anything like
no,
that?
No. They don't
Why
want hand
not?
lotion.
Why not?
Because the keys are generally wet enough, and we have to offer them a handkerchief or something if they want to do it. Normally in the big competition, either the stagehands or the piano tuner or somebody will go out and wipe down the keys between each performer, but there's not that much time. So
Right.
we offer them a handkerchief or a towel or something if they want to take it out there, and they'll go in the keys, and they'll be ready.
How much do you talk to them? Is that one of those
That's
things?
one of
that
those
just-
things. As much as I talk, I try to be very cognizant of what they want.
Okay. How do you tell? If they're quiet, you're quiet, or something like that, or
Or I'll make a comment or say something to them, and you get, I get the
you get it right away.
right
you
away.
can tell.
Pretty much. I
right
think.
away.
Yeah.
Most people probably cotton to you pretty fast, right? I mean, you're such a fun person.
And most of them in this competition,
Mm-hmm.
we have fun. We have fun. And in the big one, it's just a whole different atmosphere.
Right.
And so
Do they ever want to talk to you after they're done? That seems like the relief moment. You know, whether they think they've done well or whether they think they haven't done well, do they want to talk to you after?
well, yeah, and it depends on who's where. Maria's been doing the after, but today I did it, and so it's very interesting when they come off. And there's hugs or handshakes, or there's, oh, it was awful, and I'm like, do you think you're the only one that thinks it's awful?
Right.
No.
Which is the perfect thing to say,
Yeah,
right?
'cause they
because
all- I mean,
nobody's
no.
been awful, but they all wish that one
Oh, yeah.
thing had
One
been
thing.
better or something.
And
It's
I'm
hard
like,
to see
do you
the
think
totality.
we could tell? No.
It's hard to see the totality of it when you've
Yeah.
just finished.
Yeah, and you know what, and you're your worst critic.
Oh, that is certainly
You
certainly
know
true.
that.
That is
As
certainly
much as you
true.
play.
Well, and also, I mean, it's not so much a personality thing that we get to be our own worst critics. It's
Yeah.
that the nature of what we do is so solitary, and we spend so many hours alone practicing that it becomes this self-contained thing. So
Exactly.
yes, we do become our own worst
Worst
critics
critic.
because we're not necessarily working with other people so much, which is why I like playing in an orchestra and playing with other
Yeah.
people so much, because I did learn at the grand age of 22 that I do play well with others.
Others.
I didn't know that
That's
before.
why I like choruses.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that before. Okay,
Yeah.
tell me what you do when you're not being the backstage mother.
Well, winter
what do you
or
like to
summer?
do?
Ski, snow ski.
When did you take up skiing?
I was 14. My parents.
Oh, so you've pretty much always skied.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And my family grew up skiing. We grew our kids up skiing, and so I still love to ski. It's the most fun ever. I used to play a lot of golf. I don't play that much.
So you're just outdoorsy. You're athletic.
Most of the time, But I dinged my knee, so I gotta go get it fixed.
Get it fixed.
Yeah, but I have to be able to ski.
But
in
it's
the
not
winter.
about skiing. Your knee problem is not a skiing accident,
No,
is
no,
it?
no.
Okay.
It just, I don't
Have
know.
you ever
I was
had a
walking.
skiing? Right. Have you
Just
ever
walking.
Oh.
Yeah.
This knee problem happened just
Yeah,
from walking.
just like that.
Okay, so you have to stop walking but keep skiing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just float around now.
Right.
It's,
What
whatever.
about skiing accidents? Have you ever had skiing accidents? Have I
Yeah,
ever seen
that
you in a
was-
cast?
no, but I was on crutches in a brace for 8 weeks one time, and I think that's what happened. It just re-injured it or something. I don't know, but I'll find out Monday. So it's the only bad thing. I think a shoulder maybe once, but nothing serious.
Nothing
Nothing
serious.
broken. No bad head things.
Not that we know of,
Not that you
anyway.
know of, or you'll ever find out.
We'll never find out. Okay, so let's get back to the backstage mother thing for
Okay.
just a second. I want to know if you ever engage any of these contestants in conversation, like if you say, I like to go
Oh.
skiing, do they ever want to talk to you about
Oh yeah, I'm the
About your
worst
real
about
life,
that.
okay.
Because I'll read up their bios and I'll find something we have in common if I can. And in fact, we've got so many physicians in this competition, and my dad was a physician here, and so I'll think of something that we'd have in common. And then on the skiing, I'm like, oh, you ski? Oh, yeah. So I'll look in their bios and see if I can't find something. And I'm always one who there's some way we're connected,
Right.
and I'll figure
Right.
it out.
You're good at that. So you're persistent about connecting with a contestant. How does that work in the professional competition, and to some extent here when there is a language barrier?
Well, as
do
you
it
can
anyway,
tell, I
you-
talk with my hands a
Right.
lot, so that gets me by. And
Does it? I mean,
Yeah.
now,
Oh, yeah.
in the professional competition in particular, when people's English
and
is a
I'll
little bit limited.
slow
Okay.
down, and I'll try to talk in very simple terms, and talk with my hands as much as possible.
And it works?
So far, I mean, it is what it is, but
Right.
but I think it works. So.
Have you ever, this is getting kind of private here, but have you ever had to coax a competitor out onto the stage?
No, we had to sew Olga in her dress the
Oh.
night she won.
Oh, what happened?
The strap popped.
Oh,
off.
right before she went on?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
And so between Louise and me, we had the thread and sewed her in it, and she went out and won it.
Right.
It was our good
Yeah,
sewing job.
it was the good sewing. So when those sort of emergencies happen,
Yeah.
is it important for you then to remain as calm as possible, even if you're not
Even
on
if
the
you don't
inside?
think I can do that, I can.
Oh, I bet you can. I bet you
I
can.
can.
But it's important to just be
Yeah.
calm.
It'll all be okay. You're going to be fine. Everybody's nervous. Don't worry
You have a million
about
phrases
it. Oh yeah, or
that you
something will
use.
pop into my head.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just I'm usually not ever at a loss for
Oh,
words.
I've never known you to be. Okay, so now again, I've not seen what you lay out here for them, and there's very limited space
Okay.
backstage here. But what do you have?
We have the candy, and we have it's very important. And we have 2 bottles of wine. No, we don't. We have candy and mints and Kleenex and handkerchiefs and towels and heating pad, and the rest is all underneath.
Wow.
And it's
Wow.
in a great big container. And Louise, we laid everything out, but we don't have room for that now. So we kind of put what's important, or it's all handy. I know there's something real obvious that I'm not thinking of,
Well,
and I'm never a loss at words.
yeah. Okay. Now we want you to have this job until you're at least 100.
Oh, good.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
So, do you write all this down for your next backstage mother? This is what I do, or this is what works, or anything like that.
We make notes every year, and Maria is very good about writing it up. So it's all on the computer somewhere, if I thought I could ever find it, but she's got it. Somebody has it. We always give a copy to the office and say, here's what we think worked and here's what didn't. And there's always something that sort of is the big bad theme, and how can we make this
How
better?
can we make it better?
And how can we organize it better? And so hopefully every time we do this, we'll be better.
Yeah, great.
And
That's
and Sandra and Jacques and everybody, Maggie, everybody in the office is so good about listening, and
it's a pretty good group of people, right?
right,
Pretty good group of people.
whether they think it's worth salt or not, who knows?
We think,
But
we
I
think
always
you're awesome.
tell 'em.
We think you're awesome, and we want you around for several more decades. So,
Oh yeah.
so
Well, you'll be
continue
here,
to
won't
ski
you?
and play golf.
As long as
I
we can-
imagine I'll stay as long as they'll have me.
Okay.
Kathie Cummins, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Appreciate it.
I know you need to get back down
Yeah,
there.
we do.
All right, thank you so
Thanks.
much.